on, talk through 8 Alpha 1.
Kentland's always carried a reputation of being a very aggressive, fast fire department. When you speak to some people, aggressive is kind of a dirty word in the fire service. We don't look at it that way. You know, we look at it as we are trying to help people and we're trying to do it as fast as we can. I like to correlate our aggression to, you know, when you look at professional athletes, we'll use hockey players as an example. You know, that's one of the toughest sports to play. These guys are on a thin blade of metal, moving around as fast as they can, hitting people, dodging people. When people look at us running on the fire ground, you know, they immediately assume that we just jumped out of the rig and did that for the first time right there. You know, that's something that we've fine-tuned and worked on, much like that hockey player has his whole career. And it's something that we're working on and we're making ourselves better at every day. And that's the reason why we're able to move with a purpose when we get on the fire ground.
I come to Kentland because of the people. I've made some of the best friends in my life in this firehouse, and it's truly a pleasure to come here, even if I'm dog tired after a long shift or I got stuff going on at home. This is definitely a little bit of a sanctuary, like a clubhouse, where we can all kind of congregate and have some good laughs, get some drills in, catch an extra fire here and there. Kentland is very unique in the aspect of the neighborhood. We cover a very large area, and we have 3 services here between the engine, the rescue engine, and the tower ladder when that comes back. So we cover a lot of ground, and we do a lot of different things. It could be 1 second you're at a 2-alarm fire in the mud, or the next second you're out on the beltway helping somebody out of their car, and then the next minute we're running the DC line for a gas leak. It's a nonstop variation of calls here all the time.
Eagle is ready. Please ready.
Structure fire, multifamily residential with reported entrapment, ALS. Engine 833, engine 843, rescue engine 833.
Our name is popping up on Facebook. People are seeing us go to fires. And, you know, with the pros of going to fires, you're always going to draw attention, and people are not going to be happy about that. You know, everybody always wants to find a reason to put somebody down. The biggest thing we can do inside these doors is not worry about the outside noise. You know, we focus on what's going on in this department. Anybody who comes here and rides, you know, I've never heard them say a bad thing. Most of them keep coming back, so I think that speaks for itself.
Town center of Everglade Lane.
We have support from the top down for me to put that engine where it went yesterday. It was easiest for myself to get the engine up into the grass there so we could stretch a line off the engine. And then I also had the option, if I needed to put our deck gun in service because we were the first unit back there, we could do that. Some think that we're trying to, you know, spread this colonizing message of you need to do what we do, but we don't.
They're just gonna flow water. So our line goes up through.
Driving around on a fire truck almost everywhere you go. Like, it's almost every little kid's dream. You know, you see kids waving at you and it gives you flashbacks of when you were younger. Like, man, this is what I want to do. I actually didn't have any background information on Kentland, and one of my buddies that I used to volunteer with back home was like, hey, have you ever heard about these places in PG County? So I was 20 years old and I was just trying to gain whatever fire department experience I could. You know, going back to being a young kid and being all I ever wanted to do. And if you're gonna do something, you might as well be good at it. So he told me about live-in programs in Prince George's County. And I remember that night we just started watching all kinds of videos. And I watched a Kentland video. It didn't click what Kentland was at the point. Ended up joining a different department.